So, yeah. It's very anticlimactic. That was by design. What's up, everybody? So I know of a couple of people have had a couple of questions. They're like, where's this fool been at for a couple of weeks? What has been going on? First off, mental health is important. I've needed to take the time to take my crown off, shine that mug, you know what I'm saying? And, before I can pontificate my point in front of y'all's on screen, I need to make sure that I'm good off screen. Because, at the end of the day, as a content creator, I'm a human being off screen, on the toilet, taking a poop, in the shower, using the white washcloth, because only people that use white washcloths love themselves. We working on loving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely. If you don't use white washcloths, I don't know. Let God be with you. I don't know what else to say about that. What's up, everybody? It's been great. I've missed you guys. I was feeling a little uneasy, with stuff I've been dealing with off screen, things I've had to kind of combat, juggle in a sense, but I'm back. I don't know how many more interviews or sessions I will be doing before the year is up. I'll have some announcements coming on later this week. I don't really have a rant and a ramble to go into necessarily this time because I kind of got all that out during sound check with my guests this evening. So before we get all that, okay, you got pizza. Good for you. All right. We in here. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Maya is always here. You know what I'm saying? Yes. She be trying to be. I'm curious what you put on your pizza though, because this will let me know if I should block you or not. If you have pineapples on your pizza, I don't really know if there's space for you in heaven. Personally, I don't know. There's a couple of things we can agree on, or better yet, eat your pizza. I've been learning on not yucking other people's yum. So eat your pizza however you want to eat your pizza by yourself at a table that is not located at mine. I will not be enjoying that. But other than that, before I pick on everybody else on the internet, I will drop the lovely intro real quick. They threw my ancestors in the ocean. Now we became the new wave, and we're about to drown this system. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jello. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jello. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, boy, I'm jello. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kid Casper podcast. I'm your gracious, beautiful, blessed, beloved, and black host, the kid that they call Casper. The KID in Kid Casper stands for that king of development. I'm that menace with the melanin. Reject me as I am, as long as he is still relevant. So, this is your first time tuning in today, seeing this sun-kissed, melanin-blessed, quirky, nerdy, band geek, debate team advocate. Yes, I feel like in the existence of American descendants of slaves, everybody in our community should be a part of some sense of a debate team. I don't know. But anyway, if this is your first time tuning in today, hello, I'm that quirky brown kid that they call Casper. I'm a Christian raptivist. Yes, rapper / activist. I love Jesus, but I'm literally super far from a pacifist. I need Jesus. Jesus don't need me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. In the way that the world's been looking as of lately, I almost joined into full-time prison ministry because of a couple of things that were said. This is why I gotta stay off the internet, and it's why I only argue with people that'll pay me. This is not a debate show. I don't breastfeed adults. I'm trying to think of other things that can get me disliked and flagged. What else is there? I can't really think of anything else. No, that's it. I still stand on my white washcloths stance. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You gotta use a white washcloth. That's demonic. That's all I gotta say. Y'all already knows what it is. Graphic designer, owner of ghostthreads.com. That's how we pay the bills around here. That's where you can get some some of the best, freshest material, clothing, very interesting, kind of sporadic. Some people describe this as a kaleidoscope. When they look at some of the stuff, I don't really care. I think it looks good. I think it looks good on me. And if you don't like it, don't buy it. That's fine. Anyway, my guest this evening, somebody that I've been paying attention to for the last couple of months, somebody that provides social commentary, gives a very, and I feel like we need to destigmatize this word polarizing, because I feel like when a Black woman just shares her opinion, people want to say it's aggressive, it's too loud, it's polarizing. No, it's just poignant, to the point, and dripping in sauce. And if you don't like it, well then, white fragility is my favorite salad dressing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who is actively, I would say, and it's kind of weird when I have to say it's about a Black woman as well, because I feel like Black women are the original feminists. They're already born activists, being Black in this country, but being a woman in this country, the double minority. But she's about it. You know what I'm saying? She does not bend and fold to societal norms. She looks really good in a bonnet. You know what I'm saying? She just out here getting it. You know what I'm saying? She's the only person that ever made me want to dye my eyebrows red for some odd reason, because it looked good. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to get her I'm trying to, loosen her up a little bit before I get her on screen. Everybody, my guest this evening on this Monday morning at, what time is it? 8:19 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the lovely Queen Cailen Easely. How you doing today, sis? What's going on with you?
Hello there. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. First off, I want to say thank you for accepting my invitation on coming on here this evening, sharing this space. I was not gonna lie to you, I was a little nervous, considering just not only who you are in this space, but on the fact that I've been taking a break for the last couple of weeks. And anytime I take a little break, it don't matter if it's you, I don't know, local congressman, the mailman, I'm gonna be a little uneasy. But I appreciate you accepting my invitation and hanging out with me on this Monday morning and joining the hoodie squad. I appreciate you. How you doing today otherwise?
I feel like we're doing good. Just also like really in agreement with you with like taking a break and taking a pause, because I feel like, when it comes to activism, it can be overwhelming, and not even just activism, just in your personal life, like your mental health is priority. And so I've been doing that same thing and just kind of taking a pause, taking a break, just kind of sitting back, chilling, and just recuperating and preparing to kind of get into some more stuff. So, but other than that, I've been good. I'm hungry.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, one of the things that I like to do with this podcast, since I've, I would say started it since last year. I originally started this podcast to interview different, musicians, artists, content creators that I have, personal relationships with, kind of spotlight them in a sense. After, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, not specific order, but I felt like for me, not only as just a human being, but especially as a disciple of Christ, to be able to, provide commentary to what's happening in the world, speak on things that need to be spoken on. And in this journey, I've, tapped into just interviewing different content creators, especially people from our community, and give them the opportunity to be humanized. It's very easy when doing this work, and there's the mystique, there's the I would say like the mirage that people get to have, where they just think they know you from a 3-minute clip on TikTok. So this is one, providing a space where you can just talk your talk and tell the people about yourselves. And also at the end of the day, I'm just curious to want to talk to you. I don't care if 5 people are watching. I don't care if 500 people end up watching this. End of the day, this is for me. This is for you. So if you can give like an elevator's pitch to who Cailen Easely is, you know what I'm saying? If you had to pitch it to Hollywood, like this somebody in the elevator, you got this is your business card, and get them to know you. Can you give us the elevator's pitch to who Cailen Easely is today?
Yes, I can. And okay, my name is Cailen, and I like to talk shit. Like, I just like to put how I feel out there, and just really put a realistic touch on things, because I feel like when it comes to the way that some people choose to present, which I could understand why there are some people who have to present in a certain way, because I have gotten tone policed. People have, made remarks about my bonnet, called me ghetto, things like that. But for me, I don't care, because the thing about it is, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I'm going to sit and make a video the same way I talk in my videos, and the same approach that I have in my videos is the same approach that I have in real life. And I've been very adamant about things being realistic, about responses being realistic, about having a realistic idea about whatever is seen, whatever we're talking about. And that's just been my main thing. Like, I just feel like for me, I just talk. Like, there was no science behind it. There was no, no math problems behind it. I just started just talking, because I felt like we need to just talk about things that we're seeing, because we'll see things, but I think a lot of us have a limited interpretation, or just different interpretations. And I feel like it's necessary for me to share my piece, for somebody else to share their piece, for somebody, like, because I feel like we then come to one big conclusion, and where it goes from there, it goes from there. But I like talking shit. That's my main thing.
I understand. I like to tell people, like, white fragility is my favorite salad dressing.
Okay.
I kind of just pop off where I pop off, and I let it fly where it flies. Obviously you gotta take ownership over what I say, but yeah, that's about it. And I just, like I said, I told you a little before we got started. I was just like, man, I don't know. I was like, I would just love to listen to her talk. I mean, I can't really get on the lives, because sometimes your lives, girl, I'm not gonna lie to you, your lives be. I thought my podcasts were long. I hop on your live. I was on your live for like 30 minutes one time. I was just like, I just want her to notice me. That's it. Man, I'm gonna be here for a little bit. All right. Man, it's getting spicy up in here. My heart rate going up. Okay, I gotta go. I can't do this. So I figured this was a lot more adjusted climate, where we could just, have a dialogue and everything like that, without too much of the over sensory of an audience and everything. So this would be good.
Yes.
So first off, I'm gonna ask, have you ever watched any of my my podcasts before, by chance? Are you familiar with? No. Oh man.
Sadly.
So you SOL, because you about to get hit with these intense questions
Okay.
of that everybody else gets as far as guests go. So you gave us the elevator pitch. My next super intense question is, if you had to pick a favorite Disney princess, what Disney princess would that be? My queen sister.
Ooh. Quite honestly, I don't know. And I don't know because I feel like all of the princesses are like, I feel like the way that they're portrayed is not in a way that I like. Like, all of it is some bullshit. Like, it's all, like, I feel like when it comes to Disney, they hide. Like, how come when it comes to the Black princess, she had to be a goddamn frog? Or when it comes to
Talk about it.
that's what, like, that pisses me off. Like, when it comes to different, even the other, like Pocahontas, why are we envisioning a minor falling in love with someone who Colin? That's what bothers me. Like, it is all the princesses is something wrong. It's almost like it tries to normalize colonization, pedophilia, or it tries to they have these deeper meanings, and it makes me. It's not even anything against the princesses, rather the way that they portrayed them and how it supports some kind of heinous behavior or act. So I can't even answer that.
Well, I'll do this for you then, because I had a guess. I'll have to send you this. I'll have to send you her information. There's this Colombian theologian. Her name is Joe Lumen. She was like, I don't have princesses. She's like, I like villains. So if you had to pick your favorite villain, then, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking either DC, Marvel, you name it. Why don't you give me who your favorite villain is?
My favorite villain?
Go for it.
Let me see. I'm not very acquainted with the villains, but a villain, I think that he's in this. I think his name is Thanos. Interestingly enough, it's something about him that is interesting, because he really has no boundaries. And I think many villains don't. Like it's the them not having any boundaries, and just kind of him in particular, like really going out of his way to just get what he wants, which in some way, yeah, it's bad if it's used for the wrong reasoning, but it's something about going out of your way and like blocking, like taking down any boundary that's there to Thanos. Look, I'm not. That's the one of the most well known villains that I know. But I feel like it's not even just particularly about him, but villains in general. Like they have no boundaries, and I think that that's interesting because they will literally do anything to get like what they want. I think that's interesting. Didn't he like kill his daughter or something? He was fighting with his daughter, I think. Child, I don't know, but that man is crazy.
Mine is, and we can, I don't know how much you want to get into deep in this. Mine, and this is, some people still are like, I don't think so. I wouldn't say he's a favorite, but I think the biggest villain of all time got to be my man T'Chaka from Black Panther. And if you don't know who T'Chaka is, that is T'Challa's daddy. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he killed Killmonger's daddy, left the boy abandoned in foreign land. He ended up turning into the same very thing that came back to put Wakanda in danger. That's the real supervillain. Forget Killmonger, forget Thanos. That man killed somebody's daddy and abandoned the child. That's just me, though. I don't know. I think like that. I feel that. I'm a little deeper. I'm deeper than most people. Either that or my man Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy. Because this man had the coldest line at any villain ever said. This man said, I loved your mother. It's a shame I had to put that tumor in her brain. I was like, what the f is going on around here? Oh, no. I was like, no. What on earth? Like, that escalated quickly. Like, Dad, she owed you money for Arizona iced tea? She ain't give you that money back for that Arizona iced tea. So you gave her a quarter in her brain. That's ridiculous. I don't know. My next super intense grilling question. Yeah, he was cold for no reason. You said Scar?
I was thinking about Lion King as you were talking. I'm not gonna lie, I started thinking about Lion King. His ass was trifling too. That was crazy.
He was trifling. He was really trifling. And you know what it also was? Like, I think the fact that his people ate him. Didn't they eat him afterwards?
The hyenas?
They had to have eaten him. They ate that man.
Yeah, because he disappeared. It wasn't no bones. Nothing was left, child. He was gone. He was a thought. Shit, an afterthought.
I'm gonna tell you something, my sister. They ate that nigga. They like, did. Look, we about to have ribs. We about to.
We can be good tonight.
That was trifling. Oh my goodness. But everybody in the comment section, like, what is wrong with y'all? Be quiet.
Hey.
My next super intense grilling question is, and this will kind of allude into what we were talking about backstage. So depending on how this goes, I apologize in advance. I'm a nerd by nature, in case you couldn't tell by the Sonic the Hedgehog background. Like, that's my last time I apologize for being a nerd. If you had to pick a starter 6 Pokemon set, what 6 Pokemon are you going with?
Now, friend, you may be mad at me, because the only Pokemon I know is Pikachu. Is he even a Pokemon?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Damn. Look, that's the only one I know. So I guess I only got one person on my team.
Dang. You want me to help you out a little bit? I can
Please
help you.
Do.
Okay, I got you. See, once again, the cool kids gotta rely on the nerd all over again. That's fine. So we're gonna go with Snorlax, because only thing that nigga wanted to do was sleep and eat. You know what I'm saying? He lived that happy, depressed life. I don't know. We could pick Charizard, because Charizard showed us in his growth. He showed us what abandonment issues turn into real love. You gotta watch Pokemon. The real ones know.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We gotta go with Lapras. Why? Because for the longest time in Pokemon, you got to ride the big sea dragon in the water for some odd reason. I still don't know what Ash did with that Pokemon. I don't know. Let's see. I think another one we gotta go with Flygon. Why? He looks like a dragonfly that did all the leg day but got T-Rex arms. It's just funny. Like, shorty thick for no reason, but the arms are like this. I don't understand. It's kind of weird. I don't know. She died. Next 2 for ish and giggles. We'll go with Plusle and Minun, and that's your 6. All right, cool. She said the pink one. Be quiet if I put you in timeout. That's just like, so yeah. So one of the reasons I want to bring you on here, like I said, is to be able to give you the opportunity to tell your story, share your experience, and like I said, it gives your audience, your following, an idea of who Cailen Easely is. You know what I'm saying? So if you could, as far back as you can remember, tell us about the early stages in development for a young Cailen, if you could, please.
Ooh, okay. So when I was younger, I feel like I really wasn't exposed to the world. Like my parents, it's not that they were strict, rather they would not let us do a lot of things. We didn't get a lot of me. I have two other siblings. I have an older sister and a younger brother. And it's like we didn't have the opportunity to go out into the world and explore and learn this and learn that. So I spent a lot of time thinking and internalizing things that I seen, things that I thought about. I started kind of breaking people down, people in my life, myself. Like I started thinking, well, why is this like this? And then why is this like this? And this doesn't really make sense here. And like I just started thinking about a lot of things, connecting things in my own head. And I feel like the first person I ever really went up against was my dad. And my dad is one of those, if he says that he's right, then everybody else is wrong, and he's the only person that's right. He's very adamant in thinking that he's right, and he be bullshitting sometimes. Everything that he says is not right, and I was sure to let him know. And I've always like been fiery the way that I would argue with him, and I said that doesn't make any sense. Like nothing you're saying is making sense. Like if you are, for instance, if you're telling me that I can't do something, you better have a damn good reason why. Because if you don't, I'm gonna argue with you about it. Because I've always been on top of. I feel like a lot of my passion came from being restrained, and I got sick of being restrained, and I feel like that's why I would really go so hard with my dad. And I don't like when people put things and people in situations and all these different things in a box. Like I don't like when people are trying to control and dictate other people, which, if anybody has seen my TikTok, that's why I speak so much against it, is because I know what it feels like to be confined. Like not only was I confined at home, but I was confined at like school. Like I went to charter schools and private schools, rarely public schools. For the most part, like I was in these schools where we could not be ourselves. There was no sense of, being an individual. Like it pissed me off, because I was like, I'm sitting here with no sense of myself, no kind of worldly identity, and people be pissing me off, including my dad. So I would go back and forth with him a lot. And so it started there, and then throughout time in dealing with people, especially when I got like in middle school and high school, I really started having more interactions with people that would piss me off. And I'm like, and then I started realizing, once I kind of got out of high school, I started realizing, wait a minute, a lot of these people I interacted with, a lot of these children I interacted with were traumatized. Like, and it amazed me because it was like, wait a minute. Not only were a lot of them traumatized, but then I started really looking back, because I started looking at myself, and I was like, there's an agenda. It was many things. Like there's an agenda being put out in the world, and a lot of us are just falling for it. And I mean, of course we are. We're children, we're gullible, and we grow into that somehow, because we're just being fed. I was thinking about so many different things. And a lot of times I do look back into my childhood and I'm like, damn. I'm like, this is really interesting about how shit was happening under our noses. And a lot of people still don't realize that. But I've been sitting and I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh, damn. Like these things connect. Like I'm just really recognizing a lot. And like, even when I was in high school, if I show you all my, like my story archives, like I'm doing the same thing I'm doing on TikTok, but in a way that matches with my maturity from back then. So I was doing it back then, but I was like, once I started knowing more and understanding more, I was like, this is interesting. And then that's really how I started talking about the things that I talk about on TikTok. And I'm like, this is like something that's really important. And I feel like the world is always in need of an activist or people to just speak up in general or to have like put their thoughts in. And that's why I was like, well, let me go ahead and hop my narrow ass in and start speaking my mind, because it can never be too many of us, period.
I feel that. And I think there's something that you said there. It's funny. It's somebody's commented. That's my child. I think it's the one thing that I've noticed, especially from your content. It's never being afraid to like question things and not just accepting things for the way that they are. I always found that to be refreshing, because even when I tell you, like, me and a couple of my associates, we've just sat there and like, I would say like deconstructed like some of your videos where we just like, wow, let's break this down real quick and just get into discussion real quick. And I'm just like, there's a lot to unpack in here, but you never hear it said the way that, like, for instance, that you say it. So that's always something that I've picked off rip, just from like not only your insight, your thoughts on certain things, whether it's discussing the patriarchy, toxic masculinity, misogyny, you name it. It's that I'm being a contrarian, not because I think that just to be a rebel in some sense, but it's, let me get to the bottom of this before I really give my actual opinion. So there's that being defiant, yes, but still doing your research and taking in inventory on everything before you just decide to give your thoughts. For sure. I definitely detect that.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Oh, we give our flowers around here, by the way. I'm terrible at accepting them, but like, yeah, I got no problem. Here's a bouquet for you, my sister.
I just like that you said that, because I really do put a lot of thought into things that I say. And like, I just made a video last night, like telling I've been going back and forth with trolls. I was in the mood to talk shit.
Something like that. I mean, you
be
it's
like
a
that sometimes. That's why I was like, I ain't got shit else to do, so let me just be messy. And I was saying, like, the thing that I do that a lot of people on here don't is I think about things before I say it. And when I talk about something, I really in my soul feel as if I'm right. If I end up being wrong, I can clarify and say that I was wrong. But if I know that I'm right, then I'm right. And that's why I'm like, when people say, you think you so right, you're damn skippy. I am. And I believe it with my whole soul, ass, and chest. And so at this point, like, when people, I feel like you have to be confident in what you're saying. And if you don't believe in it, how the hell is anybody else supposed to? So if anything I say, I'm really set in what I'm saying, unless it's proven, okay, well, this isn't right. And then I'm like, okay, this isn't right. And I'll apologize, clarify, and say, okay, this is what I have no problem doing that. But I'm like, no, like, if I'm right, then damn it, I'm right. And I just stand on it.
I feel that. How did you get this way? First off, I feel like that in itself is kind of a stigmatizing question. So let me back up a little bit. Was there like a moment you spoke on, like, I would say, combating with like your old man growing up, and you've always been one to question things growing up. Was there a specific moment that said, I need to not only take a stand, but step into it with a sense of boldness, brazen, and authority? Because that is something that I do notice when you do share your thoughts. It's you don't seem shaken at all. Like, some people, when they share their thoughts, especially on the internet, they're like kind of timid. I'm one of those people. I'll be like, well, here's my opinion. You, like, not only will I say what I gotta say, I'm gonna eat some pork rinds when I give my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it because I don't got the claws. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it, but like, was there like something for you, or was it somebody that you grew up with in close proximity that helped nurture, refine, and shape that confidence that you have today? Who was that for you? And if it was a moment, what was that for you?
Oh, okay. That's a really good question. I don't think it was anybody in particular, because my grandmother is probably the closest like me, but other than that, nobody is like me. Like, I was always kind of doing my own thing. But what I can say was something that happened in my childhood that really, really, really bothered me was the way that I seen my parents treat my younger brother. And the way that it seemed like, I feel like that was my first mini experience of things that happened on a large scale, not even just relating to men and women and misogyny and double standards, but overall. I felt like that, and it's nothing against my brother. He's just growing up in it. Rather, the fact that I felt like my parents would let him get away with stuff. Like there would be times where he would do things and take things that were mine, and it was almost like they babied him. They did not hold him accountable. And I cannot explain the fury I had as a young child to know that they would let him do stuff like that. And I really remember when I had to be under maybe like between the ages of 8 and 12 when he did something else. And I had a little journal, and I was scratching and scribbling in there, like just putting out how I felt, because it irritated me so much that it seemed like he was able to do something, get away with it, and y'all don't hold him accountable. And I know that y'all don't, because he keeps doing the same shit over and over again. And it pissed me off because it made me feel like, one, as a minor, I have no control. Two, when he does something wrong, y'all are going to just let him get away with it. And you see how much it bothers me. You see how much I tell you, because I would tell them. I would tell them when I was younger. When I was young, I had to be maybe early teens, maybe even younger. I'm like, this is not going to age well. This is not going to age well at all. And I would tell them this is not going to play out right, because y'all are making me and my sister do things that he doesn't have to do. Not to mention, they would make remarks about, like, especially my sister. My sister is a little bigger than me, and they would make remarks about what she was eating and her diet, and things like that. And my brother would be doing the same thing, and nobody would say anything. So it was like, and growing up and facing the misogyny and double standards from that, like, it pissed me off. And that was, I feel like, one of the earliest moments I've ever felt any kind of frustration in personal regard to, like, the things that I talk about. And that that still pisses me off. Like the feeling that came from, like, as a child, I can't even understand how I felt that strongly, and I was not destructive, because I was pissed off a lot about that. So I think that also kind of factors in a little bit.
Gotcha. And and if I sound like I'm mansplaining, please check me. If so, it's one of the things I said, like when I brought you up on screen, is especially in the Black existence, we're born into, like you said, having to be an activist off rip.
Mm-hmm.
You being a Black woman in the society, you're a double minority off rip.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have to deal with being Black. Two, you have to deal with being a woman in a patriarchal society. And then also within our community, there's this unnecessary expectation I've noticed. I've had to deconstruct and reparent myself, I would say, in my 27 years of life, where I've noticed that there was this unnecessary expectation that we do put on, Black boys and then Black women. And for Black women especially, we make them grow up a little bit too soon than they really should. And then they should tolerate certain, I'll say, bigotry, even if it's blood or it's water. Bigotry is bigotry. It don't matter if it's family or not. And I noticed that especially within our community, we tend to groom our youth to be susceptible to these things. And that's not, and hopefully I'm not being presumptuous by any means, but if that is hitting at all for you, does that sound like it's kind of landing as far as like what that was for you?
Yeah, I feel like it's really spot on, because I kind of feel like the way that in our community, it's like it's a lot of Black women having to, like, being brought up to deal with things, and like I feel like it starts there. Like I feel like it really starts there, and it just causes a shitload of issues, because it's kind of like when you do have younger men, in particular younger Black men, when we do have these situations where they're being enabled by not only their parents, not only maybe even grandparents, not family, but also society, they're able to get away with things, and we're being told we have to sit and tolerate it. and that we have to bear the burden of and bear the responsibility of their bad behavior and their and from the result of people enabling them. And it sucks. It really does suck. And it feels like it feels like we really have no power. Well, we really don't in situations like that. And it just really is one of them things that's just like, damn, like, are you serious? Like, and then it's even worse, honestly, when we talk about these things and then you have people saying, no, that doesn't exist. No, that's not true. Like, it's so frustrating. And it's like, really, it's especially considering a lot of us have had personal experience with things like that, like word for word exactly what you said, like have experienced that spot on. And it's like damn, it sucks when you're trying to talk and nobody is hearing you, or people are hearing you but they're willingly choosing to ignore you and everything you're saying.
Yeah, gotcha. And then like one of the things I like to tell people, you can only be so dignified when you're trying to shake shackles off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's always, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was, I think it was that black woman, Cynthia, that was like held captive by this man, and she was held captive for years. End up killing dude. Everybody's like, well, why'd you kill him? You could have, in a civilized manner, liberated yourself. It's like, recognize you said that somebody had to be liberated, and you're upset about how she chose to liberate herself more than you are outraged about the fact that she had to be liberated. And I feel like that's what's ended up happening nowadays, where especially when it comes to like the women in our community, is like, you guys go through so much as far as turbulence goes, but everybody focuses on how you react to it or respond to it, opposed to the fact that you even have to respond and react to it to begin with. So it blows my mind, and it's also letting me know, as an indication, especially in the society goes, that we are focused on the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? We're focused more on making our children in both ends be more militant and susceptible to certain bigotry than we are to telling them wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it. I feel you there for sure. Alrighty. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and I thought that this was interesting because, well, it's not even so much interesting. It's just, I enjoy it. I could literally listen to you talk all day for the most part, which is funny because, like, even during sound check, even though I was doing levels that took like 2 minutes, we were just cutting it up like we was like cousins that like be at that family reunion with the sunflower seeds. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that, first off, let me ask you something. Do you like wet your hair before you read somebody to filth on your TikToks? I don't know what it is. Like, your hair is always dripping every time you gotta just go and rip somebody a new one. What is that about? I don't know if that's part of your aesthetic. I don't know what it is. But anyway.
Oh my goodness. Like, wait, like physically wet or like luminous?
Luminous, I don't know. It looked like it's like, you know how people, when the Jerry curl first came out, this will let me know how old you are. Remember when the Jerry curl first came out? They like, is that thing wet? It's like, it's not dry. It's like, it looked wet, but it's not wet. You know what I'm saying? Yours look wet. Anyway, that's besides the point. One of the things that I don't know who holds the crown of the clapback queen. Personally, it's a toss up between you, my homegirl, Miss Dolly. There's a couple of people that might, I don't know. We might have to do superlatives at the end of the year. I don't know. But one of the things that I've appreciated with you, and like I said, me and my community have like dove deep on this just because we're just like, I've never thought about it like that. But one of the things that you spoke on your TikToks was in regards of how, just like as we were just talking about earlier, there's this unhealthy expectation that we put on people when we police them and how they carry themselves in this world. And with this one in particular, I think it was like a Hispanic woman, if I'm not mistaken. And she was like saying something along the lines of like, there's no need for you to dress the way that you dress if you want to be respected. And you came out, like I said, your hair was dripping. You didn't have the bonnet on. I don't think so. At least in this video. And you was like, that's not gonna slide. And I mean, I'll let you explain yourself, but I think that people don't get this when we're talking about the gravity of the why this needs to be said is not only did you say it about this time, but in many other videos, you keep driving this home is when people tell, especially when it comes from women or if it's men saying it to women, whatever it is, you say, it does not matter what I am wearing. If a man wants to respect me, he is going to respect me regardless of what I'm saying. Not that I need you to debate that, defend that, or yes, she did pop off on her live, as she should. Not that I need you to defend that by any means, because I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think for those that you gotta make it plain for the people when you pontificate in your point, though. So if you could, see what I'm saying?
Was
if
it the video I made yesterday, friend?
I don't know if it was that one, but there's a lot of idiots that hop in your comment section.
Yeah,
but
it's because I've addressed that a lot. Like there are a lot of people that have said that. Damn. I'm trying to think. Well, I did have a situation like that yesterday, where somebody had said that. I've actually been seeing that more recently because for me, I like to show my ass. Like I have it is what it is. And you said something that I really want to point out and that I've really been waiting for people to notice. I'm literally saying the same thing in every single one of my videos about the same topics. I am repeating myself because it's such a basic concept that people refuse to understand. And so I'm constantly repeating myself and I just dress it up differently every time I have like conversations because people be ignorant. But back on topic, the thing is, it always baffled me when people made it seem like the issue of them making it seem as if you respect yourself, you don't respect yourself if you dress in a more revealing outfit. And why is self-respect just tied back to, the amount of clothes that I'm wearing? And basically, the only thing I've come to realize is people that say things like that sexualize clothes. They think the less clothes you have, the more you are to give yourself up to people sexually, which really the correlation is weird. And then they put a negative connotation on it. And it's just weird. And I'm like, look, it's not even, self-respect isn't even just about that. It's not just about what you wear. And if you choose to have sex with 50 people, that's your private personal business. Self-respect is not just centered around what we wear. And a lot of these people that are saying that, they genuinely have no self-respect because it's not just about what you're wearing. It's about how you feel about yourself. It's about what you allow to happen in your life. It's about if you have boundaries up in your, like, it's self-respect is completely unrelated to just lesser clothing. Because like I said, you can have people that are dressed from head to toe that don't love themselves, that don't like themselves, that don't respect themselves. They will not think highly of themselves. And I just hate how self-respect, when it comes to women, they always tie it back to what a woman is wearing. And it's really unrelated to that. Now, what I can say is, I had somebody, I really don't want to butcher what she said, but she talked about how when there are women that talk about, if you want to find a man, you have to dress like this and you can't be dressing like that. Basically saying that even for the women that are dressing modestly for men, they don't understand that technically they're still like hoes and whores for men, which realistically they aren't like hoes and whores, but it's the fact that you're still trying to do it for a man's attention. You're saying that what we're doing is for male attention. Meanwhile, if you are dressing a certain way to get some kind of validation, you're still doing it for men. It's such a tricky conversation, but it pisses me off all the time because I can't stand. I mean, I'm not surprised when I hear it coming from men. What they do, they're a special group of people. The misogynistic men, they come in their own category. They can say the wildest shit, and I'll just nod my head and all right. But when it comes from women, when you know what it's like to face certain things as a woman, and you basically regurgitate the words of misogynistic men, it just pisses me off because they, out of all people, also are aware of it doesn't matter what we do, it doesn't matter how we do it, it doesn't matter if you dress from head to toe, it doesn't matter even if they regurgitate every single thing a misogynistic man says, those men will still see them as subhuman, if not human at all. You know what I'm saying? They aren't safe, and I hate I would hate for them to go through something that proves them wrong, but I can only imagine the disappointment that they feel when they still get disrespected and sadly violated, even after critiquing everybody and saying, well, this is what you have to do in order to avoid this, when they've made us responsible for things that men were responsible for. So I hate when things actually happen to them, because it's like you made it about you. You made it about you, about what you did or didn't do. And when you take responsibility for things you aren't responsible for, you are going to be highly disappointed when you are proved that it's not up to you to how some of these crazy ass men act. And that's just a topic that will always get under my skin, because it's like,
and I think like the thing that I think people don't understand, it goes back to like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's kind of like when you have somebody over, I don't know if this is, and please tell me if this is wrong. If so, I have no problem being corrected on my own podcast. Like I said, we share in this space together, my sister. It's like me setting up a booby trap for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not on who fell in the booby trap and who that booby trap was set for, like that type of people, that creature, whatever it is, to fixate on the fact that it's like, hey guys, you're an idiot. You fell for this booby trap. It's like, or we could be more upset about the fact that there's even a booby trap to begin with. We should address whoever set this booby trap. So when we're talking about like misogyny, toxic masculinity, we're talking about, you know, trigger warning, rape culture in general, you know, women should not be responsible for dismantling the very thing that was built for their detriment. And I think the thing, and you would think that especially like in our community, we would get it, especially when we have this conversation about, well, why is it my job to dismantle white supremacy? I'm not white. I didn't build this. So exactly. I think the most, and I feel you, like when I say like me and my community have talked for hours on this, when we're saying like, it's a sense of cowardness to deflect one and push it not only to the people, the oppressed, to liberate themselves, one. Two, I think like, I don't think people realize like how, and I'm trying to be careful here and be sensitive when I use these words. It comes off very, it comes off like you're trying to like groom people for abuse when you say stuff like, oh, well, if you just do this and you just do that, if you just comply, you won't die. You see how that sounds? Like if you don't comply, if you just comply, you won't die. This is that and the third. It's a dangerous game you're playing, because you're basically telling somebody, just walk this line and you won't step out of bounds. You're fine. It's like, or that person can stop trying to knock me out of bounds. That'd be great too.
Exactly.
For sure.
And I also want to address in the fact that when I did specifically talk about it yesterday, the woman I was responding to, she said something like, I want men to look past my physical so I don't wear something along the lines like that. And I'm like, are you not concerned that there are men that just look at the physical and nothing else? Are you not bothered that there are men that are shallow like that? Because in the end, I mean, even if I do think that there has been a culture created where people are really convinced that people that wear more revealing clothing are a certain kind of way. I don't think that it's true. I think that it's just a bunch of assumptions. So I definitely do think that these women are going to get treated differently in society, and people are going to treat them a certain way. But it's not that that's who they are and how they are. Rather, it's just been this culture that's been created. But it's kind of like, are you not concerned that there are men that won't have the capacity to look past the physical? You know, you're putting in all of this work to get a man to see that you are a queen and that you respect yourself. Girl, that man can go to hell. If he is that shallow to just only want to look at the physical and nothing else, that sounds like a personal problem on his behalf. Like, and when I see some of these women going, like, really going hard, and I'm just like, please just go sit down or just speak for yourself. That's what I say. Speak for yourself. Don't include the rest of us. If you want to be, I told her, and if the sound got muted, but I thought it was funny. I told her, if you want to, There was the one video I did not want the sound to get removed from under. But I was like, if you want to put shingles on top of your head and call yourself a house to be a man's property, that's fine. But the rest of us do not. And I told her she had bigger things to worry about, which she personally did. So, because she's been problematic before, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. But I'm like,
if we talk about the same person, I know exactly what you talk about. It's a hot mess. We could talk about how I don't think white people should get tans because it's pretty much blackface, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
But I think like the thing for that goes, especially, this is the one thing that sometimes it's very frustrating as a man when you see this, for me specifically, because you're not, that's not you, my sister. It's always like when these conversations come up, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's dumb when this happens. Like, this is obviously woman and woman, having this conversation about how a man should treat you. I just don't think when I see this, it's bad when I see, like, for instance, and I'm like, you know what? I think it's good that they're having this discourse. Maybe privately would be better, but hey, it was a public proclamation. You have a public retort. That's fine. The bad part is when the men chime in the comment section. That's when it's just like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like, dude, like, no. Just stay out of that. Let them
back over there.
Let them snatch their own baby hairs. Like, this isn't for us. Like, this is we're the problem to begin with. There's no need to give our input, because it goes back to like why I'm like, please stop me once again. Please do. We sharing the space together. Yes, Casper podcast, but consider yourself, you know where the food is in the fridge. I think like the thing that we don't understand is, and why I say, like, as far as men goes, we have a certain bias when it comes to misogyny and toxic masculinity, because once again, this was built for us for our preservation. I think that's a good word for it. So it does irk my soul when I see this discourse happen, and then I do see my brothers, whether they do or do not look like me, chime in on this type of nature of conversation, because it's just one of those, like, you just need to sit down and take notes. Have you found that to be frustrating when you are like having to have these conversations when we're talking about this specific subject matter? And it sounds, my brothers can get mad about this or not. Men really just need to shut up and listen. Do you find? I mean, look, bro. I'm just gonna say this. Like, you didn't say that. I said that. Y'all got a problem? Sign up for the Patreon. But do you find that to be frustrating when you're having this conversation? And you and me, but obviously get this being a part of the Black community. When you're having a conversation amongst people in your community, white folks, shut up and sit down. Go eat your flavorless chicken and your dry turkey. Mind your business. Do you find that to be frustrating, though, when you're having this discourse, to have this important conversation?
Yes. And you know what? I am so happy you said that, because just today, I talked about how I do not like the fact that there are men on TikTok that talk about how, oh, if your woman not giving you sex every day, every other day, leave her. If she go. This is why women get cheated on. All that bullshit. And I talked about a couple of reasons to why, like, I mean, a woman saying no is enough, and also other things factor into a woman not really being, wanting to have sex. And I had a guy in the comments. I have pinned my pinned comment. My pinned comment was, this also goes for men. Men can say no. Men can give consent and revoke consent. I had a man say, it doesn't seem like you feel that way based off of your content. And this man was like, oh, all you do is bash men. All you do is that. I've been called a man hater countless times. They can all suck my ass. But I'm looking at him and I'm like, huh, interesting. And he made a video. He had made a comment saying, I bet you've never spoken up for male SA or sexual assault, trigger warning, things like that. And then I scrolled past, I don't know how many videos I have, but I went all the way back to, this had to have been in September, maybe even before that, months ago, when I had just started. Like, I I don't even think I had 100,000 followers. I went all the way back to a video that I made about a bunch of women saying that they would their boyfriends could not tell them no, and that they would rape their boyfriends. I went all the way, and the sound got muted when I posted it. So I reposted it, and the sound got muted again this time. But I showed him, no, I have before. I just am very weary because every time I speak about men's issues, the videos will get muted. But he was going on and on about how my page is a hate page for men. And the craziest thing is, within the past week, I've posted over 100 videos. I've posted almost like 130 videos. About 5 of those videos are about men. And he didn't even care to do the work to look. But when I went on his page, almost every single post, he had about 30 videos. About 20 of them, or maybe a little more than 20, all of them was him stitching a woman saying something. So I'm like, I feel like when I have so many men that hate what I talk about, I just take it as them projecting. When they call me man hater, when they call me this, when they say I'm bashing men, I think a lot of the reason that they feel like I'm doing that is, one, because being held accountable is uncomfortable, but because, two, a lot of the times that they just are, what they're saying I'm doing is something that they're actually doing, but to women. And so it does get frustrating and it does get irritating, because it's kind of like, really, like it gets annoying, but I've been able to cope with it a little better. But it's kind of like when everything is there out on the front, because I talk about many different things. People, they try to make it seem like I don't talk about women or hold women accountable, which I do all the time. Like my content is around so many different things, and I have so many different purposes that when it does get annoying when I see men say that, because it's like they'll see one video and then say, you do this and you hate all men. And it's like, it's the fact that they'll go off one video and then take it to the extreme, and they don't listen. Men like that will not listen. So it's hard to get through to them whenever a woman says something, it's automatically, oh, she's a man hater, she bashes men. I just had to let that out because it pissed me off. But it's like, it is hard having these conversations with men like that, because they're stubborn and they don't want to listen.
Not even also that, it's and I feel like in a lot of ways, I feel like, especially for me being a black man, tapping into my blackness, dealing with this, I would say, like, dealing with this discourse when it comes to like our white counterparts and stuff like that. People are like, why are you always talking about racism? Tired of you complaining about racism. And my retort is, I wish I didn't have anything to complain about. So when women are complaining about how trash men are, and men are like, I wish women stop complaining about men. Men stop giving them a reason to complain. That may be a solution. I don't know. It's like y'all tired about them complaining about what we serve in the restaurant. Cook something better so we don't gotta complain about you. I don't know. Okay. That's just me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You want the soundtrack to be better, do better. That's just me. And I think like the only reason I'm able to do that is because of my blackness, in a sense. In this society, I feel like, especially when it comes to, and like I said, I've just been checking you out, and I've just been checking your stuff out, and it always seems to be men, not for the most part, it seems to be men in our community when we're poking these holes out, which, yeah, it's abrasive, but at the same time, just like I prefaced earlier, how dignified can one be when you're trying to shake shackles off of yourself? You know what I'm saying? I think that is where people aren't getting it, especially when we're talking about, it's like, it's a shame that you even have to make 5. Like, we should not give you 5 reasons to complain. 1 is too many. You know what I'm saying? 5 in one clip. No. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have had to empty your clip that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. I mean, sister, if I'm off base, I'm off base. Let me know.
You're not. And it doesn't even, and the crazy thing is, like, which I thought about something else while you were talking, and no, you're not crazy. You're right. There are a lot of gentlemen that it was this one time I made a video about women height shaming men and only wanting to be with taller men. And I'm like, we cannot height shame men and talk about them and bully them for who they are. That's their height. They can't change shit about their height. And from that, I've noticed that for the most part, the men were cool, but there was an unhealthy amount of people being colorist, fat phobic, all of this crazy shit in the comment section. And then on top of that, there were men that followed me that bond over hating women. And so when they seen that I don't just call out women, I call out everybody, those were the same men to invalidate my experiences as a woman with the experiences that I have with men. So a lot of them think that when you just protect them or stand up for them once, that is you kind of signing yourself on as somebody who will always be on their side. And it's typically just the misogynistic ones, pretty much. But it's kind of like it does suck, because it's like, if you think that me defending you is me co-signing you hating women, I don't know what to tell you. And it's really weird. It was really weird how that all happened, because I started to receive a lot of hate comments when I started talking about other things. And when I would go to block them, these are people that followed me, men that followed me. So I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and the upsetting thing is too, and you probably know this as a content creator, it's cool till, meaning like I rock with you, except for my grandma used to always say, be careful of asterisks, because if your name is next to an asterisk, your ass is at risk. So people are loyal to you till you say something hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? If I could just give you ideas of my community that I've established, not everybody agree with me.
Yep.
Not everybody. About 2 to 3 hours ago, my business manager cussed me out for absolutely no reason. Why? I don't know. Maybe I deserved it. I don't know. To be continued. But I think people don't recognize how dangerous that is to have a yup in your circle, and then have people that don't make me put you in timeout. But to have yups in your circle, and then to like coddle that type of behavior. Talk about, specifically for you, and you don't speak for everybody else, but if you can shed a light on why it's important to keep going with this, talk about why there's a difference between accepting that something is wrong, but still leaving enough, I would say, like grace for growth when you are talking about people that I guess like follow you and stuff. Because I do notice, and I've been through that heartbreaking thing with you as well, where it's just like, damn, it had to be one of my mutuals that had to be on this mess. Talk a little bit about, having to stand firm when you're setting a boundary and just say, like, no, I'm not dealing with this, and I stand on this, regardless if it's popular or not. Because I don't think you can, which is funny, and we'll talk about that a little later. I don't think you can, especially in this space, once again, double minority, you were born feminist and an activist as a Black woman in this society. Talk about the importance of having to just stand on your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I really like that you asked that, because like whether it's mutuals and that was something I really thought about. After something happened a while ago, I stopped just following people back willy-nilly, because I used to. And see, the thing is, with the things I talk about, you never know who's finally going to disagree with you. And sometimes it makes you feel like you're a bad person because you're having such controversial opinions. But I was like, you know what, screw it. Like where I cross the line is when people are really being disrespectful, or even if they aren't like blatantly being disrespectful. When I know that our minds don't align, I just go ahead and I say, yeah, no, and I'll just block them. I won't, no questions asked. When it's really something off, like if I can tell somebody's trying to learn or they aren't under like the understanding, I'll say something. But when it comes to people who, because I feel like for me, when it comes to my page, I've made that page a safe space. And anybody who threatens that has to go. If you don't accept everything I talk about here, and I'm not to say that everybody's going to agree with me, but what I won't debate on is the validity of somebody's identity and their right to be who they are, or whatever that is, whatever that may mean, because it can mean so many different things. And that's something I won't debate about. And when people try to make it seem like it's debatable, I'm like, no, you have to go. And I just start blocking people. And I will just I won't feel bad, because it's like at the end of the day, This is my page. I say what I want. I feel how I want. And if somebody went on their page and started talking shit, that's fine. But that's your space over there. Will I probably talk about it? Yeah. But in the end, like, I refuse for people to feel comfortable being bigots on my page. I won't accommodate to that.
Yeah, it goes back to, I don't breastfeed adults. We don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's not even that. I'm not doing that for free either. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not paying me. My grandma used to always say, if you're not feeding me, funding me, or another F word, we're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not really gonna last too long around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if it comes at the expense of somebody's, I would say, vulnerability. There's their, you know, just their, it can either be their humanity, their sanity, their mental capacity, all that. I'm not willing to risk that for a click. No, that is stupid. Not one bit.
Yeah.
One thing I'm curious about this, because I did pop in your live for this part. And it's funny because you and me talked about this a little bit backstage. And first off, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry because people suck. There was, I think it was one of your lives, and there was I can't remember what her name was. There was this young lady that, here comes. Why are people always policing you? What do? You just be
damn.
Can you explain that to me? Only thing you got is red eyebrows and mind your business. Like, I'm just trying to understand. Like, why can't they just let you be great? Can you explain that to me?
You want to know? Wait, can I get a granola bar?
Can you go get something in your house and eat and
goodness.
be comfortable?
I don't want to pop up because
you girl, you good. You can go and take a poop for all I care. This is we sharing this space together.
Wait, hold on. Here I come. I'm coming back. I got the box.
Man, don't feel bad. I ate some fried chicken on here one time. Like, I had some barbecue.
Shit, that sounds good. Why would you?
I had some girl. I was killing some barbecue chicken. I put the sauce on and everything while I was interviewing somebody.
I ain't because I have not eaten stuff. Let me stop because I'm gonna get really hungry. But I feel like a lot of people. You know what? I recently started seeing more comments about people telling me, "Oh, you're so annoying." Thank you, the Black Girl Warrior. You look beautiful. I'm looking at your picture. So many people have been telling me, "Oh, you're so annoying," and "Oh, she gets on my nerves," and da 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 da, and "Oh, you always mad about something." "Oh, yeah, bitch, and what you gonna do about it?" Now what? And people always have something to say, and it's like, really, which I really don't care. They just don't like the things I talk about. They probably struck a nerve. Probably homophobic, biphobic, transphobic, bigots, internalized misogynists, because really I get a lot of "she's annoying" from women, and typically like, oh, you know what it is? I know exactly what it is. When I talked about that woman that embarrassed her son on the internet, the girls didn't like that. It's a mixture of things that ruffles people's feathers, and like, I actually just
I don't think I know what you're talking about. Talk if you feel like it, dive into that a little bit, because I don't think I know about that on your catalog.
Well, let's get into it. So basically, there was a mother. There was a mother who, she had a 14-year-old son. She said, "I need help finding my son. He ran away from home." She started talking about his appearance. She started talking about telling people, for my hood people, if y'all see him, do what you want with him. Things like that. Weird things. And I'm like, we see why he ran away. Because at 14, for a child to run away from home, something ain't right. So then I was seeing, she started making more videos because he came back home, and we're telling her, your parenting is not working. She said that she would beat his ass and it didn't work. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Beating your kid's ass is not going to do anything. Then she has him doing 2-hour boot camps. Girl, that's not going to do anything either. She's completely ignoring the real issue in that child's life, and she's publicly embarrassing him. And somebody has sent me a video. Somebody sent me a video, and basically, not only is he, she was like, what should I beat your ass for that I didn't beat your ass for? And apparently he stole her weed. She didn't want him smoking in her house. And ma'am, your son is 14 years old. Everybody that I know a lot of people just, smoke weed for the fun of it because it's something that they like. But what I can say is a lot of younger people are smoking weed for stress. That boy is stressed the hell out, and you're not helping. And he really, and I talked about few times I talked about that. And the mothers was mad at me. I had somebody make a video about me saying, oh, you don't even want a kid, so this ain't even your area. You don't need for somebody that don't even want to push no kid out. I said, oh, okay. Oh, really? All right. Then I had somebody else. This was when people was I seen a bit of people calling me annoying. This lady made a video about me saying, this chick she's the same woman that said heterophobia is real. At that point, shut up. I really couldn't hear past that, but I'm like, I don't have time for that. And it's like, that's what happened with the situation with that young boy. And people didn't like that I was speaking up and saying beating your child is not discipline. It's not okay. That's not something that's going to be beneficial to your child. And people got mad at me. I can go around.
I can tell, you know what I'm saying? And not even that. I think, like, first off, my sister, I'm annoying too. Okay.
Look, ain't no wrong with it.
And guess what? Being annoying sometimes pays the bills. I have somebody that calls me once a month, and they're probably watching now. I don't care. I have somebody that calls me once a month. They pay me $50 a month to try to debunk my standing points. And I'm like, see you next month. They get an hour of my time. It's like, you know what? That's fine. So being annoying pays the bills.
My standing points too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll put you on. I'll put you D. We'll talk. We'll talk afterwards. I got you. I'll put you D already. You heard me. But I think like the thing that is wild when we're talking about that point in general is people just I don't know why people need to live their lives on camera too much and then think like, just like as you said earlier, that we're not allowed to have an opinion on it. Like, hold on, bro. Like I just said, public proclamations deserve public retorts, rebuttals, and criticisms. Yep. Even if I'm completely in the right, you still have a right to speak to it. I just think the thing that is wild to me when it comes to with you specifically, and this is where I'm like, I would love to dive in on this because I was on your live. This is the longest I lasted on your live because I was just like, I wish I could get on screen and just tell the sister to shut up. I know it's terrible, but I don't care. Was when I was on, I think there was this woman that was on your live and she was saying something along the lines of, you just don't need to dress like that. Like you're one of God's children. And that's not how God would intend. Something along those lines. And you were like, look, I done been to charter schools. I used to have to be forced to go to church and this, that, and the third. That ain't for me. You know me, you and me talked about this backstage. You were like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. I'm like, girl, look, when I die, I gotta go to court by myself. You know, caskets don't got bunk beds. I'm responsible for myself. You good over here. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me. Talk to me a little bit about, because I didn't know you went to charter schools growing up, but you were saying like in this live specifically, you had to grow up like being forced to go to church, having to have this stuff shoved down your throat. Talk to me a little bit about that, because one, I'm always curious to hear when people talk about, man, I hate church folk. I'm like, you know what? So do I. Let me hear why you do though. Let me dive in on that. Yeah. Can you break that down for me if you don't mind pontificating your point, my sister?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like my disconnection comes more from the people and not the religion. I feel like people have used religion to manipulate, almost like, the same way, you could use a knife to cut food, to open a box. A knife can have really good purposes, but then you could also stab the shit out of somebody with it. And I feel like that's like what people have done to religion. I feel like there's nothing wrong with religion, rather the people. And that's been my experience and my bad experience with like being in private schools and stuff, and being forced to go to church. And it's this idea that you just have to believe in God. Like believing in God is the standard. And it's like as kids, they really don't give us no space to kind of figure out what it is that we want. And especially coming from a Christian or a Catholic house. I mean, I feel like any religion, you know, I know it's typically intertwined that you pass it down, and excuse me, that's your duty as a parent, but it really threw me off, especially when people say stuff like that, because if we really want to go back to it, whenever God created me, I slid out the coochie butt ass naked. So if he created me naked, what's the harm with showing a little tit, a little ass, a little skin? I mean, it's really, so we was born naked, but we got to stay covered up. That's not, God is not giving me that same energy. He gave me, you was born with your ass out, live with your ass out. And that's what I'm finna do. But back on topic, I just really feel like when it comes to these conversations, like, I don't like when people are trying to make it be like they're forceful. And when people, like, I don't really particularly care when people like come in my live and say Jesus loves you, or in my comment section, because I think that somebody, it will feel special in hearing that, and the intent is good, and I think that it's special. But I think that you have a lot of people that can't, like, imagine you not believing what they believe. And so when I was coming up and my grandma wanted me to go to church and my mom wanted me to go to church, and I'm like, I really don't feel a connection. And I was just doing it because they were making me and because I had to. But it was like, that's really not a good way to have a relationship with, in any kind of religion, with any kind of God. If I'm telling you I don't feel connected, you forcing me to go is not going to make me feel more connected. It's really going to annoy me. And I had to go through getting like my confirmation and this and that, and it was like, I was so uninterested, and I feel like that should be saved for somebody who wants to do it, and they're not doing it because they have to, because it's something that seems as a chore and something that's mandatory, other than something that's an option. Like, religion should definitely not be forced on kids in particular. Like, that should be something that they want to do, and give them, I feel like kids should be given time to figure out what they want to do. It's just, people be pissing me off when they be doing shit like that. But I be like, it is what it. I really just, a lot of the comments I get, I just keep moving, because I know that there are more, and I don't even go looking for them. If I see them, I'm gonna talk shit. If not, they're lucky because they've been spared. But I kind of laugh at it now. I'm not gonna lie.
You said they've been spared. I think, like, one thing that you said, and I had this conversation, I think it was earlier today. I was telling somebody, well, how, like, because everybody's always worried. Some people do get worried when they come to my podcast. They're like, oh man, does that mean, like, that's why I told you, like, look, talk how you gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? All I ask is just don't get naked. Please get comfortable on here, though. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, when it comes to me, so I don't consider myself like a religious person, I would say. It's a relationship. Just like when I said earlier, when I die, I gotta go to court. Meaning I gotta go to that courtroom. Nobody else even allowed to be in this room except for me and God. That's it. I think what it becomes a religious thing where it is dangerous is, and I gave this scenario. Okay, I like tacos. I'm making tacos. I make my taco. There's no such thing as an identical taco. How I eat my tacos is nothing like how you eat your tacos. The problem is for sometimes when it comes to like spirituality, religion, you name it, is some people like to make somebody else's taco. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, you gonna eat this taco. And I'm like, I don't like sour cream on my tacos. I actually do like sour cream on my tacos. You know what I'm saying? I love sour cream. Come on. But I think the danger is, though, when it comes to like your spirituality and stuff, is people will try to force feed you something that you ain't asked for. Like, bro, I ain't asked for you to make my taco like that. You know what I'm saying? And then not even that, you ain't gonna make me feel bad for how I eat my taco. I'm still getting fed. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat the way you eat. That don't make me a bad person. J. Cole said, you know, what you eat don't make me, what you F don't make me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't none of my, you need to go on about your business. I think the issue is, especially when it comes to Christianity in itself, and I always tell people this, is, bruh, you got to live your life, and it's got to become attractive that somebody wants to ask you about this. You know what I'm saying? We done lost our guest. She is completely gone. I don't know what happened. Hey, my FBI agent done kicked my guest out of the stream. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna try to get her back real quick. Where did she? I don't even like onions. Hey, yo. So while I'm trying to get my guest back on screen, let me know where you are watching this from. I don't know what happened. I think her phone died. I don't even like onions. What is it? This that she said, or is it this? Let's talk about it. I don't know. I think she lost. She might have lost connection. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna try to get her back real quick. While you're watching this, let us know. Not from your bed. I'm talking geographically. Let us know where you watching this from. Y'all talk about where you at in your house. The annoyances. Good Lord. What happened, Sister Cailen? Yo, where'd you go? All right, y'all. We gonna get this situated. Let's see if we can. I'm gonna drop this real quick and see if I can try to figure out what's going on with my sister. They threw my ancestors in the ocean. Now we became the new wave, and we're about to drown this system. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jelly. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jelly. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, man. I'm jelly. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, man. I'm jelly. Still don't know where she is. I'm not sure where she is, guys. We was getting into it too. While I just wait for her, I guess. I don't know what's going on. It just like kicked her. Maybe her phone died. I just messaged her. Hopefully we can get her back on screens. I don't know. Maybe let's try this. I am about to call her on IG. Why not? See if this works. And be like, hey, are you good? Is you alive? What happened?
I popped out and then I was like, I said, damn, what happened? And then I came back and then this is what he said.
It's okay. We're still live. It's okay. Like it just.
I don't know.
Oh, good. I'll edit this out. It's okay. Do you want me to send you the link to your IG? I can do that. That won't be an issue. So all good. All good. This happens from time already. Let's see if this works. She said, oh my God. Let's see. And boom. There we go. What is wrong with my devices? Now I'm about to ask her how old she is. That is hilarious. Hey, yo. Let's try to get her back in here, y'all. 1 second. My ancestors in the ocean. Now we became the new wave, and we're about to drown this system. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jelly. Every time I go in, every time I go in, every time I go in, boy, I'm jelly. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, man. I'm jelly. I'm a kid, I'm a kid, I'm a kid, man. I'm jelly. I hope it's not the FBI agent. That would be upsetting. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you come up in here and mess with my establishment? She said she's having an issue. She about to get this work, because let's see if she can click the link. There we go. Up here she is. She about to get she in trouble now. I gotta ask her how old she is. She back here like, oh man. So what happened, beloved? What happened? What happened?
I don't know. I was sitting here and I'm like, yeah. And then it just shut. Everything just shut. Everything just shut down. I said, damn. So I was like, well, let me see if it's something I did. And then I was just out of it. And then I got back in, and then it said the live had ended. And I was like, damn. I was like, did something happen on his part? And then when you send me a message, I'm like, oh shit, that was just me. That was my phone.
I gotta ask now. You can't skate. You can't skate. So if you had no, it's not no. And that link ain't tricky. A lot of y'all just don't know how to work computers. Louis not doing that. I run a tight ship around here. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't mind me asking, beloved, because you could have named me 6 Pokemon. If you don't mind me asking, black man to black woman, how old you is and how young you isn't, if you don't mind me asking that very intimate
Do you
question.
really want?
Yes.
Okay, before I say this, I have to tell y'all. At first, he guessed I was 25, and then the number kept going up. Do you want to guess one last time?
I gotta guess one more time.
Yeah, guess one more time.
34.
I'm 21.
You're 21?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you work a doggone computer then? I'm confused. That don't make no doggone sense. No.
Don't. I'm 21, friend.
Black woman.
Yes,
no,
King.
you ought to be ashamed of your doggone self. You ought to be ashamed.
This should be hard to work. Damn, I still don't know how to work TikTok, and you know how long I done been on there. I done been on there for over 6 months, and I'm still confused.
It's them nails. That's why. You it's them nails. You can't do the technologies with them nails. You know what I'm saying? You barely
technology can't do me. That's the problem. The technology can't do me. See, the internet needs to be easier to navigate, because why the program shut out on me? See, it's not my fault, friend. It's the world's fault.
No, it's not. We ain't gonna say got 1 million followers on TikTok, can't work an iPhone. Oh my goodness. I'm about to slide you real quick.
Do y'all see this? No, because what be killing me is when I be typing, when I be on my iPad on live, I be on my phone like this, and some people be like, you look like somebody granny, and I'm like, damn. I done got called auntie. People say I sound like a mama, and I said, you know what? I'm not neither. And I be like, damn.
And you know what it is? It's also like the Southern accent you kind of have. It's that accent that gives off that I just got off the plantation voice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the so it makes you seem don't run away.
Wait,
no.
Not the plantation. You know
what? Girl, you gotta be from one of the Kakalackas. You know what I'm saying? You got to be from one of the Kakalackas, and them nails. Did them things come with what? Did them nails come with a lifeguard? Good God, them skyscrapers. They're
not that hard to work. These aren't. I had some other ones though that were sharp. They were the stiletto. They were sharp. I was stabbing myself. I couldn't function, but they was pretty though.
Shorty,
but
I know them nails come with. I know them nails come with a permission slip. Stop playing with me, like.
But I got a whole bunch of them too. You're gonna be seeing me with all kinds of long nails. Well, I finally got some short ones. See, I got some nubs. Wait, and now I gotta show you. I got some short ones. Somebody sent me some short ones, so I'm gonna be wearing some short ones soon. But I like long. I feel, you know what it is, because my hands are small. Like I know they may look big with the nails, but I have baby hands. People think I'm big too. Some people think I'm like 5'7" or 5'8", but I'm just 5'3", 5'4".
Oh, you short? I'm a whole foot taller than you. I'm 6'3". Yeah. So like,
you over 6 feet tall? I thought you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You kind of give 5'7", 5'8" from right here.
Why does everybody say that? Like if somebody else said that, dude, like you look like you was about 5'4". I'm like, what does that mean?
I don't know. It's something about your head that
my head. Don't do that.
Like when.
Don't make me get on your head. You got a bonnet on. Don't play with me.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me shut up before I get roasted on here. I didn't come prepared.
Let's try to reel this in. Good God. Whew.
Oh my goodness.
She said you was giving like 5'7" vibes. What the hell does that even mean?
Look, I know somebody gonna agree with me. I know somebody gonna agree. Because it's not that it was bad. I could imagine you being like a nice height, just a few inches taller than me.
A nice height.
You know what it is? I mean, you just max 5'9". Just from where the angle I'm looking at you sitting down. Let me be quiet before I get my ass roasted. I'm gonna shut up.
Woo! Welcome to the Kid Casper podcast. If you were just now tuning in, if you haven't already, please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Oh my gosh.
You need some water, friend.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Sweet brown-skinned Middle Eastern baby Jesus. I can't. While you over here try to, oh my gosh.
You said
Try
I
not
sounded
to
like
get-
I came off the plantation, so now we eat.
Yeah, girl, you gotta be from one of the Kakalackas. I don't even know what part of America you from, but you gotta be from one of,
Texas.
See, I knew it. Slick like oil. That's how you say it. How do you say oil?
Wait, I gotta say it in the sentence. What can he? I need some hair oil. How did I say it?
Jesus had everything to do with it. I don't know.
Hair oil.
Whew, Jesus had everything to do with this. This is a hot mess. But you know what, guys? I tell you all the time, I'm really not that strict. We have fun on here. I'm editing all of this out. This is gonna be fun for like laughing purposes. Let's try to get this back into what on earth? Don't make me put you in timeout, comrade. Come on now. Get your behind in order. Good Lord. Oh gosh. But yeah, one of the things that we were talking about before is we're talking about like how spirituality, just like food, it needs to be something that you don't need to want to eat on your own. I can't make food for you to some extent. And when I say I can't make your food for you, I can cook for you, but I can't force the food, Joe. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tacos, how you eat your tacos with your nails like this. I need to. I don't know how to.
Okay. You know, sometimes I eat a lot of food with like forks. So instead of picking it up, if it's just too much of a bother, I just chop it up with a fork. I eat it with a fork.
Do you eat pizza with a knife and a fork?
No, I used to though.
Don't lie.
Well, it was for OCD purposes, but no, not anymore.
This how you hold your food with your nails like this, like just. I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
Did you see my nugget knives video where I put nuggets on my fingernails?
I did see that. You was trying to get that McDonald's bag. I understand. I ain't even mad at you. Go ahead and get that 10-piece bag. I ain't mad at you. I ain't even mad at you.
Look, they need to sponsor me. I'll do them.
Somebody need to. Doggone it. Like, but yeah, like I was. So one thing that I was curious about when I was asking this question is what was it for you growing up that was like a turnoff for you? Not only because like you felt like it was like pushed down your throat, was it just how I would say like people carried themselves as as Christians? I'll use that with quotation marks because the church stormed the Capitol, in case anybody hasn't seen that earlier this year. So when people are like, "Oh, I'm a Christian," I'm like, what does that mean? Like, so were the people that looted Africa. So I need you to clarify what a Christian means to you. But what can you speak to a little bit? Well, not a little bit, because I mean, take your time, as much time as you need. Can you speak to what that was like for you? Why it was such a turnoff to you? Because like I said, I was in there for like 20 minutes. You were like, I'm not having this. I'm not dealing with this. I don't have to put up with this. Can you talk about your experience when dealing with religious people and why it was such a turnoff for you that you didn't want to adopt it to be your own when we're talking about spirituality in a sense?
I always got annoyed with not even just with religion, but with giving up control. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of losing control and having to put something in the hands of somebody who I'm not even sure exists or not. And I feel like when people are like, you got to give it to God and and no, I barely trust people around me, let alone something I don't know if it's there or not. And so I never really was able to make that connection. And for me, I'm the kind of person, we got to be eye to eye. We have to be, I need to know that something is there before I start believing in it, because I'm going to be weary. Like I've never been one to give up control to people around me, to anything. Like, I will take full advantage of, and which is not good, not in religious sense, but I'll worry and kind of put a lot on myself. But I would rather carry the burden than give it up to, a being that I'm not even sure it really exists or not. And then another thing that kind of bothers me is when people start bullshitting, when people start being on their bullshit and then and I feel like people turn me away more from religion than well, I've never really felt the connection, but people really push me further away because they'll start some drama, start some bullshit, or say something really harmful, and then say, at the end of the day, God got me, and God, shut up. God don't have shit to do with that. Stop bringing God into your bullshit. And that would always piss me off. And there was this one time, I just talked to one of my friends about this last night. There was this one time I was talking about the LGBTQ plus community and in regards to religion, and how you cannot use religion to justify that, because it never is going to make sense, doesn't connect. That's a conversation for another day too. But I had somebody tag a young lady, and she was like, so many religious people are like, I don't believe because my religion tells me not to. So you just doing everything your religion is saying. You have no kind of discretion. And I asked her, if in the Bible, if God said rapists should not be prisoned, would you be advocating for rapists to be freed out of prison if God said that in the Bible? Mind you, the rapists would still do what they do. Nothing changes other than the fact that God wants rapists to be freed because he feels as if they should be freed. I said, would you do that? And she said, yes. And I said, your problem is you are following, and many people are following religions with no kind of discretion, and y'all are exuding that on the rest of us in this world, and you're taking that out on the rest of us because you have allowed, in the end, like, it really never really goes back to religion overall, rather just these people. And it's kind of like so many people will hide behind God, and really when they move that mask every now and then it's bigotry, homophobia, racism, and that the same girl, her brother be saying the N-word and shit. Like they really, and they use the F slur, I think, and we're ableist. So it's like, okay, so we're for Christianity and God, but up until it's against a disabled person, a person of color, and a person in the LGBTQ plus community, now all bets are off. That pisses me off.
And not even that. One thing, like, I tell people, this is why I always say, what comes out my mouth 9 times out of 10, and I always lead with, I feel this in my spirit. I may be wrong though, because I hate when people use the term, let's play devil's advocate. First off, the devil has enough advocates. We don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. Plus, sometimes we need to stop being like, oh, well, it's all God. No, it's actually Janice. And it's actually Clifford that said that problematic. Stop putting Jesus on that. I actually get very irritated. Like, which is funny because I've become like the, I want to call it the faith police in a sense, to some extent, meaning like people will be like, hey, MrLeadWithLove, there's this homophobic dude putting scriptures in my comment section. I'm like, oh God. Not one of my people. Look. You're being a jackass, right? You're making us look. You're making us look right. Like, you make, like, Jesus would slap the shit out of you. You know this, right? Like, do you know this? That Jesus would say, not the one that's doing what you say is sin. I'm talking about you. He would yoke you up in his name. Do you understand me? And I think the issue is just like you just said, and I have my own gripes when it comes to people that identify with, I'll say this because I had Modern Warrior on here before. He said, I don't have a problem with Christians. I have a problem with Christians. I don't have a problem with people that are Christly, meaning like you can be Christian all day. That don't mean nothing. But if you act like Jesus, I can rock with that. But Jesus don't act the way that you rock. And not even that, Jesus don't act like the way you act, but then you gonna blame him for your nasty behavior. No. Because Jesus ain't never rebuked nobody in his name for being gay. Jesus was not ableist. Jesus was not homophobic, transphobic. He really didn't do institutions. He was not Republican or Democrat because they're both trifling and they both get the same checks from the same government buildings. I think a lot of times people deflect to a higher power because they just don't want to take responsibility. At the end of the day, they'd be like, oh, well, only God can judge me. That's just scared of, pardon my French, that's just scared the shit out of you. Somebody that's seen everything you did right and wrong is the only one that got your back, but also going to hold you to the fire. Yeah. I have an issue with that in itself. And then I always tell people, just like the taco analogy, I just want you to eat tacos with me, but you don't have to. But can we enjoy a meal together? I got lasagna too. That's fine. We can eat, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that if we are able to just exist, and before we try to like tell people how to live, I have to acknowledge that you are a human being and treat you with dignity and respect first, off rip. Yeah. We'll worry about the spirituality where you go after you die later. Yep. I'm not supposed to put you through hell while I'm on earth with you. We'll talk about heaven later, but if I can't even show heaven to you while we here together, you're not gonna want to deal with me in eternity because you're not gonna want to deal with me while we on earth. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I get it. Trust me. I grew up an atheist. I had one of them grandmamas, one of them black grandmamas that, you know, she decided to be a G. If she's watching this, oh well. For me, I feel like she decided to be a Christian at like 10 years old for me, and it did not feel real. It had to be something that I had to give into myself. Nobody forced it on me. I had to grab onto it. But then once I realized like it in its purest form, I not only protect that for myself, obviously, but I don't want to put it on anybody either. I'm like, look, this is how I live my life. This is how I carry myself. And when people ask me, why am I a good person? I do point to God. My ratchetness, that ain't me. That's me. The righteousness part, I had to get guidance for that. But I think the issue is, and you may agree to this or not, is I'm going to try to be careful here when I say this. People sometimes are pointing to God because they want to be worshipped, meaning like they have a God complex. And the problem is, though, is that they actually act more like, playing devil's advocate, they actually act more like Satan trying to push God down your throat than they do acting like God by just existing with one another. Like you and me, like I knew this off rip just from backstage. I'm like, oh, she like a family member. We like cousins already. Like we gonna get along just fine. But yeah, it's unfortunate. And one, I'd like to say I'm sorry because the whole time I was in that live, I was just like, do y'all understand how foolish?
And it gets bad, friend. If I could show you nearly half of the comments, like I get, which I can't, well, at this point, I really can't keep up with them, but I've kind of got to a point to where I really don't get many. But like, if total, like, I'm pretty sure there are videos, comments, disrespectful shit all over the internet. And it's kind of like, Instagram, their comments are brutal. Instagram and Facebook, and probably YouTube. I'm not too much on YouTube, but Instagram and Facebook, they will tear you to shreds. Do I still give a damn? Absolutely not. But it's just like they really are brutal and they don't hold back and they will say anything and everything to offend you. And it's like, I have seen you while you were talking. I don't know if you've heard about the situation with Silverback 907 and what he did to his stepkids. Have you heard about that?
Hold on. Random thought. Ain't a Silverback a gorilla? Yes, it is. Okay, so all right, that's just a weird name for it. Anyway, but no, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh my god. Okay, so basically,
no.
So let me give you a little bit of backstory on that. So he apparently, he did do it because he admitted that he did it. He beat, I want to say he has 3 stepkids. He beat each of them so bad to the point of, I know 2 of them had to go to the hospital. I'm not so sure about the other one. He punched his stepdaughter in the stomach that it put a hole in her bowel. He beat his stepson up so bad, he broke both of his hands, both of his arms, his eye socket, and he cracked his skull. Trigger warning. I'm sorry. I neglected to do that. I'm sorry, everybody. And then he, like, either he stomped on his other stepson's back or he like really beat him with a belt. But regardless of what he did, it left a bunch of bruises all over his back. And he said that he didn't do it because he was upset. He wasn't mad. He was just disappointed. And he had a platform on TikTok, and he was going around getting sympathy from people. It was a lot of bullshit happening, but he happened to get on live with a gentleman. And in this live of them discussing that, this other gentleman says something along the lines of, we all do bad things. First, he called what that man did a mistake. He said that it was a mistake. Then he said that, we all do bad things and we all sin. And, I don't put any kind of severity on what people do, because he was telling us to respect the man. He was telling us, y'all don't got to be disrespectful. And I'm like, shit, boy, let me tell you something. I'm not going to respect no man that did that to them. And his stepkids were disabled, by the way. And I was, and so my thing is, why would you take advantage of kids in general, whether they were disabled or not, but you know that these babies are disabled? Why would you do something like that? And they can't, I think they have the intellectual ability of like 6 or 7 year olds, so they can't properly likely communicate in ways that may be necessary to how they're feeling and internalizing how they feel. So I know this has to be extremely difficult on them. But outside of that, the man said, well, I'm a Christian, I'm a self-ordained minister, and he's making excuses for what this man did, which I don't hold that against all Christians. I'm just like, why would you bring Christianity into this? This is something I have against him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because what it does is it's almost like God co-signed what happened in a sense.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous. It's no different than like what the Confederacy used to do when they'd be like, oh, this is my heaven ordained land and we are the superior being.
Yep.
Talking about white people and stuff. And it's like, you don't understand what that does. It screams supremacy 1, bigotry 2, and 3. Why the hell would anybody want anything to do with that?
Yep.
When we're talking, as far as your public witness goes, why would anybody want to eat your tacos when you talk about how when you talk about how bad they are like that? You know what I'm saying? That is an awful sales pitch. So I get you for sure. I understand. That's just wild.
That was a mess. And I really feel like that's why, for so many reasons, it's just like push me away. Not to mention the cherry picking. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of, well, this sin is unacceptable, but this sin isn't. It's like they'll pick and choose what's acceptable, and they'll pick and choose who it's acceptable for and who it's not acceptable for. And that's just overall. And I'm like, it's just too much that comes with it. And honestly, I feel like I would rather have if I were to ever have a relationship with any kind of God, it would not be nothing shared. Excuse me, I wouldn't be going to anybody's church. It's just a me and that God kind of relationship. I'm not consulting with nobody about it, because that's the only way I would feel safest in it. That's it.
And that's what I try to explain to other people when it comes to. Okay, so first off, I'm not a religious person. I can't rock with religion. Religion killed Jesus. That's it. And I tell people, when it comes to like this life, especially as a Christian, you're supposed to have a relationship with Christ, meaning like you are supposed to have a relationship with God. I know it's real to me. I can't say it's going to be real for somebody else, but you have to do that. There shouldn't be a middleman. There shouldn't be if you're friends with me, it'll get you a nicer seat. No. Tupac said I'm getting a mansion regardless of what you said. So get out my face. You might be a little too young to listen to Tupac. I don't know. Now I found out you.
I was too old earlier. Now I'm too young now.
I don't know, man. It's just saying. Like, I was about to start calling you auntie, but you more like little sis now. It's all right. It's okay. It's all good. But to be fair, I got people that in my community that I call auntie. Where's she at? I call her auntie up in here, and she's like 4 years younger than me. That's besides the point. But I just think that that's what we need to. One, as far as like when I say like me as myself as a disciple of Christ, we need to stop just trying to Stop trying to force feed people your tacos. Just cook them, ask them if they want one. That's it. They don't want tacos, let them eat nachos. That's fine. But don't make them feel bad about it. And also,
yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody, eat your tacos how you want to eat your tacos. Moral of the story is eat your tacos the way you want to eat your tacos. But don't make me feel like a piece of crap because I don't want to eat your tacos.
I don't want to,
especially when you cook them so badly. Like, nobody want to eat your tacos anyway. You out here going to hell on a scholarship, but think you going to heaven. I just said what I said.
I gotta use that. Oh, I'm telling somebody that tonight. If you hear me say that,
going to hell on a scholarship, majoring and minoring and being a piece of you know what I'm saying? Like, and you just know.
I'm using all of that. Yeah.
God don't co-sign your triflingness, and I have an issue with it because one, it makes my job harder, I would say, when I'm trying to love on folk that do have like religious trauma, church hurt, whatever you name it, you know. Not even that. Creepy white people that just walk around with them pamphlets. I can't do it. That's just me. That's just me. I don't know. Like, no, I don't want to know about your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's 2:00 in the morning. You knocked on my door and you ain't got money from me. Get out my face. One more thing I wanted to talk to you about, and this is something that I think is super important because we opened up the conversation with this nugget. And I think that people need to understand what this is like, not only for you, but the importance of this. So, you know, one of the things that I do as far as like content wise is, yes, you know, I'm a Christian. That's important too. I'm Black. So Black liberation is also important for me. But liberation is much deeper than people really, really give it credit for. You know, I don't care about you getting the bag if you're not nurturing your brain. You know, nurturing your Blackness is taking care of your mind, soul, and spirit, all them things to talk about. Not only, you know, if we want to fight for liberation, we need to liberate ourselves as well. And we're talking about like the work we need to do up here. There's this quote that I use from this song I like to listen to. It's called it's off this like Juneteenth album. I'll send you the song just so you can hear like this one little quote. But the quote is, you know, somebody can be removed from slavery in an instance, but it will take a lifetime to get the slavery removed out of them. When we're talking about nurturing and taking care of your Blackness, mental health cannot be something that can be glossed over. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit about the importance, or better yet, mental health matters. Talk about the importance of mental health and why it matters to take care of this as well if you're trying to take care of your body as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The way I've always seen it is like if we all have our own car, ships, I'll say a ship. If we all have our own ships and we're the captain, we are the only ones that can steer and direct that ship. We're at the head. We're at the head of the ship to figure out where we're going, what we're doing. And if things are not right at the head, everything else can't follow. Yeah, you have a vessel. You have a vessel to go anywhere you need to go. You have all the tools. You have everything there. But what matters is how you are nourishing yourself up here. And if you aren't, and if you let it slide, then everything you have, I won't say will go to waste, but it won't be used to its full potential because you won't really they'll never really be mentally healthy enough to know how to go about life and utilize what they have properly. I feel like if everything is not right up here, that affects a whole lot of other things. Because if your mental not right, a lot of things won't be right. And about the quote that you brought up, I think so many people, it's so easy to grow up and absorb things. And I feel like, you know, we clearly live in a very shitty world. So we're going to pick up a lot of shitty ideas and we're going to absorb things that are no good for us. And it is hard to break out of that. It is very difficult to break out of that. And I think what's worse about our community is the aspect of not believing in therapy or believing that it's effective. So I feel like you have a lot of our people that don't really think it's necessary. And they'll actually think that therapy is something white people do. They'll even when you introduce it, they'll say, "You think I want to go talk to some white man about my feelings?" You know, I think that's actually, let's get into that. If for another day, that's fine. They associate that, like, that's I'm thinking about it. It's not a fully furnished thought, but the way that they will automatically connect the therapist, they'll speak about this therapist as if it's just a white man.
Like I said it like this on one of these podcasts I did earlier this year. Sustainability and stability, it should not be a white thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't know if I'm not trying to dog our community. I remember one time I said this to like one of my boys like a couple years back. I was like, "Oh, I can't hang out during this time. I'm getting my teeth cleaned." This my man's response was, "I'm not even kidding. This nigga cares about his teeth. What's wrong with him? That's some white people." I was like, "Hold up, you're telling me that care about my grill that y'all got to look at all day and smell when I speak? That's some white people. We should not keep equating stability and wholeness to whiteness. That's not a good thing. And listen to how bad that sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be something that we can't obtain, and that's not something that we should push out of reach for us just because we're not used to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel you. It's frustrating. Yeah. Frustrating as hell.
It is. And I'm like, we deserve to have all of that. Like, we deserve to be happy and, like you said, have that stability and be able to take care of ourselves and be able to do things without saying, "Oh, that's white people shit." Oh, that because it's indicating that white people are able to do these things and we aren't, or we're not capable. It's out of reach. It's out of grasp. And it's like things that are good things that involve taking care of ourselves and that are very nice things. Like, it's not just like I've noticed, which, to be honest, I understand why, our people will say that. But whenever something is nice, whenever something is fancy, whenever something is like, whether it's a really nice building or really nice established something, I've noticed how they will say, "Oh, this white people." It's always like they'll associate all of that with whiteness, and it's like, no, like, let's try to refrain from doing that, because it's like, if we think that all this greatness and this ability to, like you said, sustain yourself and to stay on top of things is whiteness, what are we associating blackness with? Which they may not say it, but when you associate, like, it's an association there, whether they want to say it or not, or whether it's conscious or subconscious. And I feel like now I'm thinking about that, and I'm probably gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the day. That was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that that's why I say, like, it's something that you have to constantly deconstruct. Because even saying something to that sentiment and believing that to be fact or gospel in itself is anti-blackness. So you have to decolonize and deconstruct that mindset off rip. So I got you. You said y'all got my emotions all over. I'd be like spitting, but other topics I'd be like, nah, that's I don't know what you're talking about, Molly. Go sit down somewhere. But yeah, like, it's something that I feel like it needs to be normalized. So one thing that I do ask, especially with the work you do, because it is work, 1 million people, a million people you got to deal with. What is something that you do, Queen Cailen, to nurture your blackness, protect your mindset, keep yourself whole while doing what you do? What you got for me? What you got for me?
I like self-care. Like, when it comes to body care, I have a lot of small black businesses that will send me body scrubs, soaps, like body washes, all kinds of stuff, and to promote. And I like everything I people send me. This is actually a black hair brand that sent me some stuff, and I gotta use. And I love doing, like, I love stuff like this. Like, I love taking care of myself, and that's really what I've been doing. Like, that's one of the things that brings me the most peace, because TikTok does bring me peace. I love being on TikTok, but I know when that is too much, and if any other form of deconstructing I have is like self-care, like, that is something that I prioritize a lot, because I mean, we only have one body, and like I want to make sure I'm taking care of it. So that's
Girl,
you
better say that one more time.
excited.
Say that one more time. You only got one what? You got one what?
Body. One body. Period. One body. And it's like I feel like I've mistreated my body enough, and I don't want to do that. Like I'm not into that. I want to and it's the overall lifestyle change in what I consume, where I buy from, where I'm putting my money, where I'm putting my energy. Like I want to make sure that it's coming from a place that has the same values as me. And so that's why I've really been putting a lot of energy into that. So yeah, that's important. That's really important.
Something you said there too. It's you said whatever I'm putting into my body or you're exposing your body to, it has the same worth that you applied for yourself. It's that knowing your worth and adding taxes and really being, what's the word? I would say attentive to what you put in your temple. You know what I'm saying? Like you only got one body, you only got one brain, you only got one life. Yep. So you got to take care. This is the only car. You know what I'm saying? This is the only car. You can't trade this in. Like this is the only car you get to have. You know what I'm saying? You gotta run your maintenance. Gotta get your oil checks. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Black men, you gotta get your booty hole checked. Prostate is important. I'm serious. I'm gonna keep driving that home. But I'm saying that to say it's like true. Nobody else gets to drive your body. You know what I'm saying? You only got insurance that covers this. This is it. You gotta take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to love it.
That's it. Yep.
What'd she say? I'm not the king of moisturizing. I just don't like being ashy on camera. In general, either.
I know. I just know you got a whole. After you said what you said about the white washcloths, I said, "Oh yeah, he got a whole routine." I feel like you put cocoa butter on your feet and all in between your toes. Am I lying? And you go to the dentist. I know you carry hand sanitizer and lotion. I'm feeling it.
But you know what? I don't mind my hands being ashy because they let people know I wash my hands. I don't trust people that their hands are never. If your hands is never ashy.
Yeah. Oh, if I showed you my hands are scaly from how much I be washing them. Like I feel the same way. Like people that look. Because I know, look, friend, this is not against you, but this is to your kind. They don't be washing their hands. Too many of them don't be washing their hands, and they be wanting to put their hands on people. They be wanting to, oh, shit, that pisses me off. Like, wash your damn hands. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I can't stand that. I'll have OCD, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't handle it. I'm going to be quiet.
I understand, and we'll talk about this off camera because I'm not going to talk about how it's not gay to clean yourself. Just clean yourself. My gosh,
man, what? Just do
we'll
that.
talk about that. That's another conversation for another day. Oh good Lord, I don't want to clean my booty hole. That's gay. No, clean it. It's the only one you
clean
got.
That chili hole. Yep, clean that chili hole.
Clean your chocolate starfish. What's wrong with you? I can't. Like.
Oh my good, clean it because it's
clean it.
Lord,
clean your Patrick Star. We don't want to hear this. No, we're not doing that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I said what I said.
Period.
With a T on it. So one thing I like to do with my guests, as we're closing out this conversation, I like to do a couple of things. Just ask you these either or questions. They're not really right or wrong answers, depending on what they are. Necessarily. Okay. Oh God, Molly, we're gonna have to talk about this afterwards. I don't got time for it right now. I don't know if my mental health could take it. But yeah, I usually hit my guests with the quick hitters, usually either or answers, never necessarily any wrong ones. Are you ready for the quick hitters, my sister?
I'm ready.
All righty. Pringles or Doritos?
Does it matter the flavor?
Pringles or Doritos?
Damn.
It don't matter the flavor. Just Pringles or Doritos?
Doritos.
Okay. So you like having air in your food. I go with Pringles because there ain't no air in my chips. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait a minute. First of all, the unseasoned ass Pringles is barely any. First of all, they're not even consistent in where they put the seasoning. So yeah, they give you a lot more chips, but you get a lot less seasoning.
Nah,
So
see you
don't try to
jacking
fuck
up. You
Doritos.
not getting the you gotta get the pizza ones. The pizza ones is where they at. You see this how if you was born in 94, matter of fact, because you 21s, you don't know the sensation of the pizza sensation Pringles. That's why. But that's okay. You young. I ain't gonna judge you with your red eyebrows. You all right. I ain't gonna
Unseasoned
judge you
ass chips.
nonetheless.
Okay. All right. What's your next question, friend?
Oh my goodness. She upset.
Because now
She's
we
triggered.
finna get into it.
Oh my goodness. Skittles or Starburst?
Skittles.
Skittles. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pharrell or Kanye?
For real, I like his voice a little better.
Yeah, not even that. The soundtrack to this, all the Despicable Me's are just fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is.
He did that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Plus, yay. It's that Harriet Tubman ain't free no slaves for me. I just, bruh.
I disconnected. I disconnected from him. I tried to not think about that when I was trying to give my answer, but I couldn't. I really couldn't.
It's like sometimes this is what it is for me with Kanye. Kanye, like, to be ignorant for a second, Kanye like that ugly friend that you set up with your fine friend, and you like, look, all you gotta do is say this. Don't. I just want, and then he like, I should just be myself. Yeah, that don't work. Okay. So you just need to say this. You got it. You in the bag. And then he go, Harriet Tubman ain't free no slaves. Like, nigga, you ain't had to see. Now we here. Now we
done messed it up. And I'm like, you did. That's why I was like, I really tried to look at it just as a musical standpoint, but it crept in, and I said, yeah, not him. I could never. I can't do it.
Can't.
Oh my God.
Couldn't do it. Can't do it. Now that you 21, I say now that you 21, like you was like 30 this whole time. I don't know.
You thought I was
50. I didn't say you was 50. I said if you would have been 50, you better have armed guards. You know what I'm saying? You better have shooters and towers. You know what I'm saying? Tyrese or Genuine?
Okay, don't be mad at me because I really don't care for either one of their music, but I do like Ride by Genuine, so I'm gonna say Genuine. Period.
Okay.
I feel like
Jasmine Sullivan or Keisha Cole?
Oh, damn. Jasmine Sullivan.
All right. Let's see. Missy Elliott or Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson.
Okay. This is a new one. I just added this one after my hiatus. Sierra or Tiana Taylor?
Tiana Taylor. She could take my ass. I'm okay. Look, Tiana Taylor is so fine. Look, it's something about Tiana Taylor. She can take me away, have me look. Oh Lord.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
If you've ever popped in my live when I was talking about her.
Sweet baby Jesus.
I'm gonna be quiet.
I'm a good Christian boy. Like, no. Keep your fantasies to yourself. Like, I ain't judging.
Oh
gosh.
It came up. It popped.
I'm talking like musically. I'm talking who can dance better. You like
Tiana Taylor. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me refresh. I still say Tiana Taylor.
Stop restringing your hoodie. What's happening right now? Like, I can't with you.
Look, damn it.
You fired. No red eyebrows. No. We're not.
Look, I stated it. That woman, her music is good. I love her music, and she can dance. She's multi-talented, and I like that.
Okay.
I'll be quiet.
Mother of God. Uh, This is a good one. Dragon Tales or Arthur?
Damn. Dragon Tales. Dragon Tales. I like Dragon Tales more as a kid.
Really? Huh.
Ain't Arthur a squirrel?
Aardvark?
He's an aardvark?
Yeah.
What? I don't know. Oh, well, he didn't look like it. He gave squirrel.
He gave squirrel?
He gave squirrel to me.
I mean, it's a cartoon.
Actually, I see it. Yeah, I see. I guess because aardvarks they got big bodies, and he's standing up like a little squirrel. Oh, I see it. I see it now. Damn, aardvark. Oh, aardvark, Arthur. I got it now.
I can't show. If you had to give me a top 5 MCs, East Coast and West Coast, what you got for me?
I have nothing because I don't know any.
Okay, fine. We'll do that. I'll do this for you then, because you give me more of like a R&B soul type of list, like listening to. So give me your top 5 R&B singers, just 5. What you got for me?
5?
No specific order either.
Okay, K Michelle is R&B, right?
Yeah, I would say she's R&B for sure.
I like her voice. I like damn. I think this is R&B. I like K Michelle, Ashanti, Mary J. Blige. Fantasia has a good voice as well. And Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah, that's my 5. I think they all R&B. I feel like you judging me. I feel like when I look at your face, I'm gonna see black judgment.
You good. As long as you look, bro. I asked somebody what their top 5 MCs was, and they said Doja Cat on here. I definitely judged them. I'll send you the footage.
I need to see your facial expression.
I was just like, no. You did not understand the assignment. I was like, not today. Not
Doja
today.
Cat?
She said, shorty. See, now you know it was a woman. But yeah, she said Doja Cat. I was like,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I guess I can leave it at that.
I was very disappointed in her. But yeah, I'll plug you in on that. If you had to go to a concert, opener, mid, and closer, who's opening the concert? Who's the mid act, and who's the closing act? Dead or alive?
Ooh, opening. Damn. Oh, I feel like Polo G for the opening, Lil Baby for the mid, and who for the end? Damn. I feel like I'll say Tiana Taylor because that's my wife.
All righty. And you're at a dinner table, you're having dinner. 5 dinner guests, dead or alive. Who are you having dinner with?
Damn. I feel okay. I don't have a well put together list. Actually, it will probably be people who passed away. People like Kendrick Johnson, Kaninka Jenkins, so I probably bring back. I feel like they would all be deceased for different reasons, but for answers more so. But I don't know who else. I would have to deep think that.
I don't know. Maybe do a TikTok on it or something. That'll be for you for content purposes. That's up to you. And my last and final question is, if you had to pick somebody you would like to see on the Kid Casper podcast, who would it be? But your answer got to be somebody you can help get on here, essentially.
Oh, Anthony, I speak. I would love to see him on here.
I think you like the third person that suggested Ant. You think you can get him on here?
I could text him and ask him if he could, if he would want to, and see what he has going on. I think that he would really have really good conversation, and I think that you would like it. I think that that would go well. I can hit him up and see.
We'll see how that goes. I know he's busy. He got a lot of people need their baby hairs yanked right now. It's just, he got a lot on his plate. You know what I'm saying? I actually prayed for that brother the other day. I was like, damn, he got a lot going on. But that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
I'm gonna see. I definitely do want to see, because I would love to see what kind of conversation y'all would have. And he's somebody in which I really trust the way he thinks about things. I like how he talks about things. I like his insight, and I feel like he just has an amazing personality. So I really feel like that would go over well. But I'll talk to him, and I'll see if he would be interested in coming on. And then I could just like direct him. I could send him your Instagram page. So if he wants to reach out, or you want to reach out, then, or he can be on the lookout if he wants. I'll see if we can figure it out. But yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I had I know some people on my team that are close with him. We did this, me and him did this podcast, not on my platform, but like months back. We did like a group discussion. I'll talk to you about that off camera. But yeah, that's dope, man. First off, Sister Cailen, thank you, man. This was dope. I already told you I was a lot nervous, just because. Not so much you specifically, like more so because I've taken some time off. But this was good. Like I said, you were here when I was backstage on FaceTime. I was like, man, she family, we are back here cutting it up. The only thing we missing is some sunflower seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
But if you could tell the people what you got going on, if you got any future projects, things that you want people to kind of be on the lookout for, if you want to plug any businesses or anything like that, or even any book recommendations or whatever it is.
Oh my goodness!
Now is your time, Queen. What you got for
us?
Wait.
Let me get a mug. I have this mug, actually a couple of mugs from a company. Her name is Jazz Monet, and she sells these wonderful mugs. And here's one. It says, I know you might not be able to see it. Let me talk my shit, and then. Let me open this one. I haven't opened this one yet because I love the other one so much. But it's another one that says, let me see if I can get it out without breaking it. This one says Black Woman in Media. And I really like this. I really like this brand in particular, but I have so many. On my TikTok, Cailen Easely, CAILENEASELY. I have a whole playlist for small businesses, small Black businesses, body care products, things of age, no minors, things like that. I got a couple of things on there that you can check out, but also I am doing like any kind of business promotions. If anybody wants their business promoted, you can DM me on Instagram. My handle is the same as my one on TikTok, and my business email is Cailen. I'm gonna follow you back on TikTok. I'm gonna follow you back because I can't keep up with who follows me. So I got you. I'm gonna follow you back. But yeah, just if anybody wants any business promotions, my business email is in my bio. But it is CailenEaselyBusiness@gmail.com for anybody who wants to do any promotions. And I go over a bunch of stuff that I get from small businesses on my TikTok. So yeah.
All righty. Other than that, this was dope. Thank you, Sister Cailen. You're welcome back here anytime. If you got something that you got something on your heart you need to get off your chest, you know what I'm saying? That's completely up to you. Sometimes we have group discussions. And like I said, I like to get in good trouble on my platform, but you are welcome back here anytime. You know what I'm saying? Once, just like as I described, once you a guest, second time, you know where the food is. So hit me up anytime you want to come back. You want to come up here, and get into it, get in some good trouble, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But thank you everybody for tuning in today. Thank you everybody that's gonna watch this on the playback. I will be back at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be interviewing Eddie Brock tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. But thank you, everybody. Always remember, you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved. Raisins don't go in potato salad. Real quick before you go, Sister Cailen, do you put mayonnaise on peas?
You know, if somebody does that, that has to be a war crime. Please tell me you don't put mayonnaise on your peas. And if you do, what does it taste like?
I mean, I don't do that. I love myself.
Okay.
I don't.
That's what I'm. That's for.
I mean, well,
I'm
not. I don't love myself. I'm working on that, but I don't do that. That's stepping backwards. But yeah, how about avocados and condensed milk? You eating that? Like,
I've never had that, but I'm kind of my problem is, would it taste sweet because of the condensed milk? Like, would it taste like a dessert? Well, is it cold? Is it room? It depends. I would try it.
It's got crushed ice in that mug.
Oh, I think I've seen that. I feel like the ice would kind of. I think that's a cultural dish. Now I kind of want to taste it. Like, but I feel like the ice will kind of get to me because it's like a big water chunk, and I feel like it would. I would rather it like just be refrigerated, and then it be cold like that. But
and then you chew on the ice.
Okay, I don't. I don't think that might. I don't think I would do it because I don't like chewing on ice. But the dish sounds like good. But the ice part is what's throwing me off. But I would probably try it.
Raisins don't go on potato salad, and Jesus wasn't white.